Hello, everyone. I am just circling back to share how the event on Saturday with the girls went. On Saturday, we had a period empowerment circle with 14 beautiful, amazing, blooming girls in grades 3 through 7. And so these 14 girls began the journey of learning about periods and menstrual cycle and affirming their bodies and welcoming their bodies. And prior to the circle, I always try to interact with or have some space with parents, which I call growing guardians, because sometimes it's not the parent that show up, it's the grandmother or it's the aunt. So I try to have some time with the growing guardians of those girls. And during that time, it's such a sacred opportunity, because this is usually when those growing guardians, usually women, share the lack of education. They talk about the lack of education they received as a young girl. There was one grandmother who spoke about just the shame around growing and developing bodies and what she experienced. And she said, I don't want that for my 3 grandbabies. And they were sitting right beside her. And so that was beautiful, because of her saying yes to this opportunity. Her granddaughters will have a different story. There were women who spoke about certain health issues they had, and that they didn't learn until later how they could have managed those health issues, because they didn't have conversations as a young girl, not knowing when your period or your flow is too heavy, monitoring and tracking your cycle. You know, there's so much information in the menstrual cycle that can tell us a lot about our health. And so I got to speak to these growing guardians and just hear their story, and they were more excited than the girls. They were more excited than the girls. They were just happy for their girls to have this opportunity. And so one of the biggest takeaways that I had from this group was, in the very beginning, there's a foundational activity that we do where the girls welcome and affirm themselves. We dive deep and dissect those words and what they mean, and get a clear understanding what a welcome, an affirmation is. We talk about how God welcomes us and always affirms us with his loving words. And then the girls get to participate in welcoming themselves. And sometimes it's a little challenge, but I'm always able to help them stand outside of themselves to welcome themselves. It's a little challenge when you're trying to welcome yourself, but they were able to do it. They understood it, and they wrote beautiful welcomes for themselves. And then collectively, we get to verbalize this welcome together. And so we don't just say it one time. We say it like we mean it. We say it like we mean it, and we say it over until that thing is in our spirit, in our heart, right? And so afterwards, I asked the girls how they felt about the words they said to themselves, their welcoming words. And a few of the girls said that it felt very awkward. One girl even said she didn't feel good welcoming herself. And when I asked her why, she said, because I don't really say good things to myself. I don't really say welcoming words to myself. So that's why it felt awkward. And I could tell by the expression on her face that she felt that. And this was a child that was probably in 4th or 5th grade. Some of the girls spoke about saying more negative things to themselves than positive things. And so because of that, I know that this work is definitely necessary. Normalizing, welcoming, and affirming girls in their bodies. The women spoke about it. Women, grown women, who were not welcome and affirmed in their body, or who were welcomed and affirmed in ways that were unwelcoming. So yes, this work is definitely needed. I will get to meet back with the girls again. So I'm really excited. At this first event, the girls were able to get their little period pouches, and they were able to get pads and just sanitary pads, and open them up and feel them and just experience them, right? And become more confident about caring for themselves. And so I just wanted to share what a beautiful experience we had, and I am looking forward to welcoming more girls. We didn't get to take a lot of pictures, and usually, sometimes I don't take pictures at all, just to respect the growing guardians and those girls. But hopefully we'll get to take more pictures, maybe not of the girls directly, but just pictures of activities and things we're doing. And hopefully you will share the period empowerment with the girls you grow and rise up, so that we can change the narrative of their story as well. Have a good day, everyone, and off to serving new moms and babies this evening. Take care. Bye-bye.